What's up, boys? It's Dual Factor once again, another video. This time I'm going to be bringing you my regional report for this last regional I went to this weekend. It was St. Louis or Crestwood, Missouri, whatever you want to call it. Yeti Gaming was the one who held it. This event I took just pure Invoked or Invoked Artifact, whatever you want to call it. You've seen a lot of the matches of it on my channel. However, I haven't been the one playing it. It's a lot of my buddies. However, the deck inspiration was all my idea. At the event, I personally didn't do too well. Just a lot of awkward hands with opening multiple copies of Alistair, essentially, with their terraformings and magical meltdowns and stuff like that. Just really unfortunate. I like the deck. I think it's really good. It's just, I don't know if I'd take it to another event, honestly. I'm getting to the point now where I'm tired of taking like stuff like this and playing from behind, so it kind of changed my perspective of what I want to play at events. But I'm going to go ahead and show it to you guys because I really enjoy the Invoked archetype, and I know a lot of people have been wanting to see this list, so without further ado, let me go ahead and get straight into it for you guys. So, to start off for the monsters I played at the event, I played 3 copies of Alistair. I feel like it's necessary to play 3. It's their 1-card sustaining engine. The sooner you see a copy... God, I can't keep anything straight to save my life. There we go, that'll work. But anyway, it's a 1-card sustaining engine. The sooner you get to it, the better, because then you can start fusing every turn, and then your opponent has to deal with boss monster every turn of some sort. So I'm going to continue playing at 3. Sometimes it clogs, but it's necessary, honestly. So 3 of that. And then for the artifacts, I just played 2 Scythe. I thought about playing Lancia because it evenly matched, but I just thought this was just better across the board. It sucks against True Draco, however, I haven't seen True Draco in God knows how long. And for a lot of turns, like for Trickstars, when they flip Scapegoat, you can blank them for a turn with Scythe, and then you can use either your Ash or their Ash to make Purgatrio and game them through their goats, which is another reason to play it. It's a light monster to make Mechabud, so I figured it was a solid card to play in here. When you draw it, it sucks because not a lot of people are playing Twin Twister or playing Cosmic Cyclone, but again, just necessary stuff, in my opinion. 1 copy of GoFu, it's a 1-of, and when you start with it, it puts you really far ahead, and it plays through back row really well too. And then I played 7 main decked hand traps, 3 copies of Ash. This is the best hand trap currently right now, so we're going to play it. The 3 copies of Gamma and the Driver. Honestly, you want to, like, going first, you want to see this card because it just ensures your cards it ensures your plays go through, honestly. Now, if they wait for you to summon the Alistair, it's dead, but a lot of the time they'll Ash the Terraform. At least I've noticed a lot of people will Ash the Terraforming, or they'll Ash the Meltdown, and it puts you in a winning position because then you have Omega on the board, taking card out of their hand every turn, and you have fusion. They have to deal with a fusion monster at the same time, so I like it. And then the 1 Max C. On to the spells. We're always playing 3 Desires. As long as it says draw 2, we're going to play it. 2 Invocations literally is an engine requirement. If I could, I'd only play 1 of this card, honestly. I hate drawing multiples. I hate drawing into it, honestly, but you have to play multiples because you're playing Desires, and you can't be locked out of fusing for the entire game, so you have to play it. 3 copies of Meltdown. Like I said, you want to get to your first Alistair. Once you get to the first Alistair, the rest of it's irrelevant. So I want to play as many copies as possible. But there was a lot of times I would open multiple copies of this, multiple copies of Terraforming, or multiple copies of Alistair and make my hand bad. And that's one of the reasons why I don't want to take this deck to another event. But like I said, it's necessary to play. And then, like I was saying, you also play 3 copies of Terraforming. So you're essentially playing between Terraforming's Meltdown and Alistair himself. You're playing 9 copies of the card, so theoretically you should see one every single game in your opening hand, theoretically. There have been times when I don't see it and it really sucks, that's why I play all the copies, but then like there's also times you just see too many of them. So I don't know. I would probably still play the 9 in the future, but I don't know if it's correct or not, to be perfectly honest with you. Another 3 of, we play 3 Scapegoat. So I think this card's actually fantastic in deck strategies like this and in Trickstar that are slower strategies. It puts a humongous amount of pressure on the board. Like that's essentially what it does. Like you get free link monsters. There's a 1-card Borload Dragon with Alistair. It's a co-linked firewall with 2 zones that you can put up multiple fusion monsters with. Like it promotes everything you want to do in this deck. So I feel like that, like in Trickstars. And just slower pace strategies, this card's just like really phenomenal. And then this is kind of different. I don't like playing back removal in my decks, but I am playing 3 Cosmic. It's really good against Pendulum Magician because it keeps their cards from activating. It's okay against Spiral because you can hit the Resort. It's another way to hit the Resort that isn't a hand trap. You could say it's there for True Draco too, but I don't see a lot of True Draco. Surprisingly too, it's also good in the Mirror Match because when they activate the Invo, you can hit their Invo, and even though it won't stop it from resolving, it'll keep them from recurring it back every turn, so that's another thing to keep in mind, but there were very few Invoke players, so that point's kind of irrelevant. It was really good in my Pendulum matchups, and like I said, it was just okay in Spiral, so don't know if I'd go to the extreme of maining 3 again, but you never know. And then the 1 Regeki. I usually don't play Board Ripes, but I couldn't think of a 40th card, so this took the slot. And then onto the traps, 3 Sanctum. This card's really good. Like, there's no denying that. I hate playing it sometimes. Because, like, it gets ashed so easily. But I guess you'd rather them ash stuff like this than ash, like, your Alistairs and stuff like that. So, it's necessary. Plus, like, it's so game-defining when you drop a Scythe. It's necessary. We also play 3 copies of Strike. So, the neat thing about this deck is because you're only committing 1 to 2 cards at the board at a time, you don't really fear evenly matched, so it kind of opens up slots for you to play other cards, I should say. So, for example, they can deal with your Fusion Monster, and that's fine, and then you still have this set on the field, so it can deal with their cards. Plus, it's good against Pendulum. And if you know what you're doing, don't strike an initial Pendulum Summon. That's just not good. Make them commit cards to the board before you do stuff. But yeah, I went ahead and played 3 of this in the main. It's honestly, I think it's really good. So we'll keep it for now. And then another card I thought was really good because I didn't want to play evenly matched because Alistair breaks a board by himself. So I went ahead and just played 2 of this. I honestly should have played 3. When I saw this card, it was like absolutely broken. Like, people thought I was just playing it because I didn't want to get matched. But if you look at my deck, like, what are you honestly going to match? And then a lot of the times, like, whenever you're playing a Pendulum player and you see you add Harmonizing, you can just take the Harmonizing away from them. When they reveal Spiral Super Agent, you can call the agent, take it out of their hand. What's another one? If I would have ever played it, when they did True Draco stuff, whenever you see them add Card of Demise or stuff like that off of Pot of Duality, you can just rip it out of their hand. Like, in a lot of ways, this deals with the threats that hurt your deck before they ever get a chance to use them. And I'm a really big advocate of this card, so one thing I would change, I probably would take out the Regeki and just play the 3rd of this, because in my deck, you don't really care if you go 1st or 2nd, so in theory, like, drawing trap cards are bad, but like I said, your 1-card engine breaks boards by itself. So you can break the board, and then since you're not going to OTK someone in a turn unless you go Scythe and then hit all their goat tokens and stuff like that. That's a different story, though. So you could break their board with Alistair, and then you can use your trap cards the following turn to keep the advantage that you gain by breaking their board with Alistair. So, card's really good. And that was main deck. It's 40. On to the extra. So my sweet Field Center. You know, Piccolo's the boy. And then actually something pretty cool. I got brand new goat tokens today. Check out the DB Super card game. It's actually pretty cool. I might actually start playing it, but I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, my sweet new goat tokens. So I'll show those off. And then for the extra deck, we played 3 Makaba. It's the best fusion. It's the one you want to go into all the time. It's really hard for a lot of decks to do, especially Spiral. It's really hard for Spiral to deal with this. So 3 of that. 2 Purgatrio. Like I said, if you Scythe lock your opponent when they flip a Scapegoat, you should be able to summon this, and it should be game at that point. And because of the prevalence of Ash in the main deck and stuff like that, you need to play 2. And it's also really good against Inferno because you can take their Ununkus and their Deviatis, and they just can't play the game. So definitely need 2 of that. 1 Mega Lancia and 1 Raijin. I did not play Kakaitis at all. It's good against Paleo, but you shouldn't lose to that deck. I'm just being honest with you. Like, there's no reason you should lose to Paleo. Sometimes you just need a big beater, that's why you play him, and everyone plays Roland Lockbird, so you should play... This is terrible against Spiral. I absolutely hate this card against Spiral, but I couldn't think of a better card. I also need to find room to play Caliga... if I can pronounce it, a Caliga. I don't think that card's good at all, but there were situations, like against Pendulum Magician, for example, if I could have made a Kaliga and I could have stalled them out of a turn, I could have took control of the game afterwards, but instead I just didn't play it, but I definitely need to make room for it in this deck. That would be the only other fusion I play. The 1 Omega, because you are playing the Gammas, and like I said, when you resolve a Gamma, and then you put this on board with a Mecha Bud, like, it's really hard for your opponent to win, because you're taking a card from every turn, you're putting stuff back to fuse with, and they have to deal with a 25-28 body, so this card's really good to me. And then for the links, I played 2 spiders for the aforementioned 1-card Boar Load combo. Plus, it's really cool because you can summon it when you have Alistair and the Goat tokens, and then you can make a Firewall Dragon and co-link it. 2 Proxy Dragon. The main reason we play this is because of the light monster that you can make, especially off the Goat tokens, and you can use it to go into other links and then use the Proxy Dragon in the graveyard to make Mecha Bus, so that's the main reason we play 2. I might cut it down to 1, but I don't know. 1 Decode Talker just as a body to put on the field and open up zones. The 1 Firewall Dragon, like I said, you go into this a lot, believe it or not, so plus it's light when it leaves the field. And then Boar Load, it defines games if it doesn't get strike warning. So that was the extra deck. Like I said, I'd probably cut something to... I definitely am going to cut something to fit Kaliga in this if I randomly go against my ward and take it to an event, but we'll see. That'd be the only change I make there. And then in the side deck, I played 3 Ogre. I'm almost convinced I only play this because they're ulti. I never wanted to side it. I never wanted to see it. I just didn't want to play the card at all, so... But I couldn't think of anything else to put in there at the time, and I thought it was really good in theory, but I never sided it, I never wanted it, so this will probably come out. This card was really good, because no one plays around it, and it's actually really funny, because, like, the people, they don't respect the card, which is fine, because you get free wins when they don't do that, but if you... it essentially ends the turn. There's nothing else I can say about it. 2 Lancia. With Sanctum, you're essentially playing 5 copies of this card, and you can side in going first or second. It's a light monster, which is good, and then, like I said, it's good against... It's really good against evenly matched. That's one of the reasons you want to play, because there are times where you will commit multiple cards to the board, and you don't want to lose them to something stupid. And you don't always have a trap card in hand to negate with Mecha Bus, so I played 2 of that. Also, because of the fact that it prevents banishing, like I said, it's inherently good against Infernoid, which you actually struggle against Infernoid. It's good against the Mirror Match, because you can put their invocations in the graveyard where you want to keep them, and so on and so forth, so... 3 copies of Evenly Matched. Like I said, you don't really care if you want to go first or second in this deck. But you almost exclusively only put this in when you're going second, because it is easier to deal with the board when you have this in hand versus having it spin your Alistair summon, breaking the board, and then not having a monster on the field. So I just feel like in that retrospect, you should play this card. 3 Barrier. Like I said, you almost only side this going first, and it's almost only against Pendulum when you side it, but when you have this card against Pendulum, it's game. And then the 1 of Imperial Order. I had 1 slot open, so I figured I'd go ahead and play this. I only ever sided it going first. I never saw it, so I can't tell you if it was like devastatingly good or not. But I mean, it's at 1 for a reason. So, and that was my Invoked deck, Invoked artifact, Invoked whatever you want to call it, for the St. Louis Crestwood Regional. Always remember to like, comment, subscribe. Don't forget to check out my boy. No, I'm just kidding. But I'm going to have some more matches for you. I'm going to have... Actually, I have quite a few combo videos I actually want to make for you guys. There's some Vendread combos I want to show you. There's DDD combos I want to show you. There's another one. There's actually combos with this deck that with the ABC engine that I want to show you guys too. So there's a lot of cool stuff I actually want to show you guys. But like I said, always remember to like, comment, subscribe. Always thank you for the support, guys. And we'll catch you in the next video.